In these programmes, we're talking to people who've gone through many different kinds of suffering. We're hearing not only how their lives have been changed, but how their faith has been challenged. Miryam was born into a Muslim family in Iran. As a young adult, she became a follower of Jesus Christ. She tells us how this happened.
After 7 months, I had a dream, and during the dream, I met a young man, and the man said to me, "Stop, stay, I want to speak with you." The voice was full of the power, but not the power, maybe somebody afraid or maybe frightened me. The power was full of the gentleness and love and kindness. And after that I said, "Who are you?" And he said to me, "I am Jesus Christ." And I said, "Okay, I have to be very polite." And I said, "What can I do?" And he said to me, "Just put off your shoes, take off your shoes and sit on your knee." And after that he came and close to me and touched my chin and looked at my eyes and said to me, "Don't forget 3 things in your life: believe in God, love, and hope." And after that he stood and showed me a door, maybe 100 steps far of us, and said to me, "Follow me." And I went and I followed Jesus. And after that we went to the door open. It was a very small old place with a fig tree in the middle of the yard. And he 3 times said to me, "This is your home. Never go out, never go out." And after that, I called to my friend, to my Armenian friend, and I said, "Silva, I have to speak with you." She said to me, "Don't speak on the phone, just come to our house." When I went to their house, I said, "Silva, I had these things. I'm not Armenian. I never in my life think about the Jesus, but he's coming in my dream." And her mother said some things in Armenian, and I asked her, "Silva, what your mother said?" And she said, "My mom said, you're very lucky. Jesus chose you, and you're Christian now." I said, "What can I do now?" Silva said, "Okay, I take you to the church, and you can have in there you can light a candle and pray." I said, "Which church?" He said, "The Georg Church." And we went to the church. It's at a street, Hakim Nizami in Isfahan. When the door is open, I couldn't really believe this is the place Jesus said to me, and I met Jesus in there. With the mosaics, with the fig tree, everything happened very fast. So when the people ask me how and when you became Christian, I can't say exactly. It's happened suddenly. Something's come in all of my heart. I don't know, and I just surrendered, and I became Christian. Most of my problem started when I graduated. In that place, they have to choose you about your ideology, because you have to be a Muslim and Shia Muslim, and another things because of some intelligence service. So they checked me and they said to me, "You are not suitable." And I said, "Okay, if I'm not suitable, okay, I go. I don't want to work here because I'm not suited for this department." But they didn't like these things because they expected. I said, "Okay," and I obey. And after that I graduated. 9 months they didn't give me my license. After that they gave my license. They closed my office. They shut the office. They stopped to my salary. And step by step they try to be tighter and tighter. And I really remember when Jesus said, "When you want to follow me, just have your cross." Of course the cross became heavy and heavy, and the road became tighter and tighter and thinner. And I remember when I went to the Tehran, they give me a paper, and it was a confess, and I have to confess. 3 times the colonel became angry and said, again, I give you the opportunity, I give you the time, sit and think and write. And the third and all of the time, I said, me, this name, I want to be Christian and I want to follow Jesus Christ. And after that, the colonel said, okay, you choose and now you have to pay because of your choice. They sent me back to the Isfahan, and they exiled me to the Zahedan, another city, part of the Iran. It's a very hard place. It's center of the Sunni people in a drug traffic. It's a very dangerous place. And after that, before I go there, they said to me, okay, come to Tehran, you have to explain some things. And this is the time they took me to the solitary prison in a Labizan. And I didn't know the first time I'm going to the prison. I wasn't ready, but I went there, and they wanted to touch emotional and spiritual torch, the white torch, the torch who you never find the scratch of this or a scar of this on your body, but the scar in your mind.